Welcome back to TTHL. Today we travel to the early 1900s and to the picturesque town of Fall River, Massachusetts, a flourishing town known at the time for its river mills and textiles. A town that is also known for an infamous murder mystery that shook the nation in the early 1900s. I invite you to venture with me as I peer into the dark secrets surrounding the famous Borden family murders that occurred on the morning of August 4th, 1892, and left an indelible mark on American crime history and immortalized a schoolyard skipping rope rhyme. On a sweltering August morning, the well-known affluent home of Andrew and Abby Borden, the stepmother who raised Lizzie Borden and her older sister Emma, became the scene of unimaginable horror. Andrew and Abby Borden were discovered brutally bludgeoned to death in their own home. Andrew was found on the sofa in the sitting room. Abby's body would be discovered shortly after by Bridget Sullivan, the Borden's 25-year-old live-in maid. The murder weapon was determined to be a hatchet, which was found discarded in the basement with what appeared to be a freshly broken handle, forever linking this infamous crime to the Borden name. The news of the Borden murders captivated the public's imagination. The prime suspect was Andrew Borden's own daughter, Lizzie, who was 32 years old at the time. Lizzie became the center of a media frenzy with sensational headlines and conflicting accounts shaping public opinion. On August 11, 1892, Lizzie was served with a warrant and arrested for the murder of her parents. Right away, rumors of the Borden family murders spread like wildfire throughout the town. One such theory was that after Lizzie's mother died when she was a young girl, her father married Abby Gray. And it was thought that Lizzie always thought that Abby had married her father only for his wealth, which only added fuel to the public's suspicion of her. This motive for Abby's marriage to her father was said to have infuriated Lizzie and Emma. On the other side of the coin was the rumor that because Lizzie and her older sister Emma lived within such a wealthy family, had a religious upbringing, and were very involved in activities at the local church, they were looked up to as aristocrats in the community, and it was unimaginable that a young lady would commit such a heinous crime. In addition, in the early 1900s, it was generally believed that women were not capable of such a crime. These popularly held beliefs were known to have weighed heavily on the jurors in the trial that was to come. In addition, Lizzie and Emma allegedly hated their stepmother and were known to have constantly disagreed with their father about inheritance and other money matters, specifically the fact that Andrew had been gifting Abby's family members real estate prior to his death. This did not sit well with Lizzie and Emma. The tension within the family had escalated in the months just before the murders, to the point that it prompted the sisters to take a vacation away from their father and stepmother, only 1 month before the murders. Lizzie even refused to stay at home when they returned and chose to stay at a local rooming house before returning home. When the investigation began, Lizzie initially claimed that she was in the barn and entered the house at around 11 a.m. after hearing some kind of groan, scraping noise, or distress call coming from the house, only to find her father, who had been bludgeoned to death on the sofa in the sitting room. Her story then changed slightly to include the statement that she had heard nothing before entering the house from the barn. Her claims of the morning events would change throughout the investigation. The autopsy of Andrew Borden stated that he had been struck approximately 10 or 11 times with a hatchet-like weapon. It was noted that his head was beaten so fiercely that his skull had almost been split in half. And due to the nature of his wounds and the fact that he was still bleeding when discovered, the attack had been recent and he had been asleep while laying on the sofa. Bridget, the live-in maid who discovered Abby's body, claimed that she was resting in her third-floor bedroom after cleaning the windows all morning when she heard Lizzie call out, "Maggie, come quick! Father's dead! Somebody came in and killed him!" She stated that she came downstairs immediately to find Lizzie in the sitting room with her deceased father. She also stated that she, along with a neighbor, discovered Abby Borden lying on the guest bedroom floor with severe head wounds. it would be determined that Abby had been struck on the side of the head with a hatchet, which cut her just above the ear, and then struck 17 more times to the back of her head, and that she was more than likely murdered first. As the investigation unfolded, a portrait emerged of a family embroiled in bitter tensions and strained relationships. Lizzie's strained bond with her stepmother Abby and her inheritance dispute added fuel to the speculation surrounding her involvement in the murders. Lizzie's trial took place 15 miles away in New Bedford, Massachusetts on June 5, 1893, and was a spectacle that gripped the nation. Lizzie Borden stood in the courtroom facing charges of parricide, which is the murder of someone's own parents. The case became a battle between the prosecution's theory of motive and the defense's efforts to establish reasonable doubt. During and even before the trial, Lizzie's recollection of events was at times strange and contradictory. However, the jury was sent to deliberate on June 20th, 1893, with mostly circumstantial evidence. In a stunning turn of events, Lizzie Borden was acquitted of the charges. The jury's decision left the public divided, forever shrouding the truth behind the Borden murders in a haze of uncertainty. Although acquitted of the murders, Lizzie remained the prime suspect in the eyes of the town. With that being said, Lizzie and her sister chose to stay in Fall River. Lizzie passed away on June 1st, 1927, and had a small funeral with rarely anyone attending. Her sister Emma passed away only 9 days later in a nursing home in New Hampshire. The case of Lizzie Borden and the infamous Fall River murders has since become a captivating piece of American folklore. The public's fascination with this case and other noteworthy crime cases reflect key moments in our collective minds of the reality of violence in private families, even ones that seem outwardly affluent or normal. It continues to spark debate and fascination among true crime enthusiasts, inspiring countless books, films, and even a chilling nursery rhyme. Thanks for sharing your time with me, and as always, I'll be waiting here at the crossroads of light and shadow for our next terrifying tale or haunted location. If you enjoyed this story, please be sure to hit the like button, share it with your fellow horror enthusiasts, and subscribe for more spine-chilling tales.